Hello and welcome back to Mary's Married Adventures. I had made a video about cell phones and international usage. However, I wanted to make a real quick one because I know sometimes I can go on a long time about stories and give you all those helpful details, but this is for the short and sweet. So, about cell phones, you've heard nightmare stories of people that racked up giant bills after coming back and didn't realize they were using that much data or even that they had it on. And then other times, they got in an emergency situation where they didn't have the ability to use their phone and then got in a rut. So to talk about that, you're going to want to be able to use Wi-Fi while you're abroad. Bring your phone definitely. If you just want to use Wi-Fi, you can put your phone on airplane mode, and then from there you can access the Wi-Fi and go from like a cafe to find it, or you can go to almost all Starbucks and McDonald's have Wi-Fi. Some stores do too. Most of the time there's a sticker on the front of the location that'll say free Wi-Fi. You may need to purchase something from the store in order to use it though, and ask them for their password. Otherwise it's completely free. A lot of airports give free Wi-Fi, however you have to go in and log in and then open up an internet browser, and sometimes there's problems connecting from there and it's a nightmare, which I've experienced. And then other times you can pay the airport for a small usage, a small little plan using the Wi-Fi there. Additionally, you can bum off of a friend. Let's say you have a friend that's local to that country. You can ask them to put on their hotspot. Some phones it's built in where you can just go to the settings and then turn on the mobile hotspot. Other times you might have to download ahead of time before your trip a mobile hotspot app that allows you to use that feature. Then from there you could, let's say, get an emergency. Locals are typically pretty friendly. You can ask them to use their phone and use a program that won't cost them anything in order to contact your family, or if it's a local person that you're trying to contact, then it shouldn't typically be a problem to ask someone really nicely and let them know that you need their help and to use their phone. So, things that you can use in order to contact people when you have the Wi-Fi. Of course, you know of Skype. Skype's really great. The only problem with it is that if you're trying to contact someone and they're not currently online, then you can't reach them unless you have Skype credit or a phone plan over Skype in order to call their cell phone. It's best to be able to call someone using WhatsApp instead for that reason. WhatsApp is incredibly awesome. I wish that it would have existed before. I had plenty of phone calls in the past trying to call people abroad, racking up bills. The thing is, recently on WhatsApp you can make calls in addition to the text messaging. So they do not have to be logged in and online like you would for Skype. You can go to your contacts and push call from there, and then it's just like a regular phone call but using the internet instead of your phone plan. You can also do group chats and send messages and pictures. I think it's the easiest way for me to send pictures to people quickly other than Snapchat. And by the way, Snapchat is available globally. It's not just something that's local. So definitely use WhatsApp. Download it ahead of time. It's free. It's like a little green icon, WATSAP, or maybe another P. And then if you like to have more privacy, a good program is Telegram. Telegram is going to be more secure than WhatsApp. They also have an additional feature that allows you to send a very secure message. Maybe you have a special code or password to send to someone, and you want to make sure that it doesn't get received from the company that would keep that information. It also has really funny stickers on there that are all free. I love the emojis, these big funny stickers. Google it. You can find all sorts of random stuff. I love the pug stickers especially. Telegram though does not have the calling feature, so it's just for messaging, and it's also free. Alright, from there, I definitely check out ahead of time if my hostel has Wi-Fi or my hotel, and if you're not sure of what areas that you can find that will have Wi-Fi, if you've got AT&T, they showed me today that they have this app called the AT&T Passport, and what's really cool about it is that you can use it to find in your area what all free Wi-Fis are available. The only thing though is that when you use the app, it does use data. So download it ahead of time, free app, okay? Then if you know where you're going, you want to go ahead and look up the location, and it'll show you a little map with all these green pins everywhere with all the locations. So I had searched a place earlier, and I found that the McDonald's there had one, and then Costa something had one. Now, that's not to say that might be you have to purchase something at that store in order to use the Wi-Fi, but they do offer it, and it'll tell you where it's located and what type of business that particular one is. So that's handy. Then something I found out when I went to the store today, because I lost my phone and my travels to Europe were postponed because of it, but I went to the store and I learned that if you have the AT&T plan that has more than 15 gigabytes, it might be like a shared plan even, then you can use your phone like normal in Mexico. That means like the same calls, text messaging, internet. It's awesome. So I wish I would have known that earlier. However, I didn't even have my phone while I was in Mexico since I lost it in Vegas. Oops. But you can use that for the next time that you head to Mexico from the US. Yay! Okay, next on the list that you should know, if you are going to need to get around. Now, everyone has a hard time finding their way around. I especially am so directionally challenged. You're going to want to go ahead and download either Google Maps or Here Maps. I'd suggest Here Maps. It's better in Europe. It also gives additional information on like timetables, trains, connections, all that sorts of stuff. The only thing though is that it typically uses internet, unless when you go to Google Maps, you have this little icon on the side, and it can have your saved offline locations. That's where you can type in the address of where you're gonna go, and then you can use the map to make the square bigger or smaller, so you can expand the area that you'd like to have the maps for. It does use a lot of data, but some of them will automatically go off of your phone after 30 days, so that whatever location you saved on your phone is not racking up tons of storage there. So that's wonderful. You get directions on your phone, pre-downloaded, whatever cities that you'd like to go to. I know that my ex used to use that a ton to get us around. I never realized that's what he was using though. I just followed. But now I'm going to be more independent, and you got to be independent too and get yourself around and not get lost. So pre-download those things, Here Maps and Google Maps. There are some other things about phones that I went over in my longer video, so if you'd like to go and watch that, it will help you further. One other thing I did not mention in my last video is that if you get this AT&T $40 a month plan that gives you 200 megabytes data, I don't think I mentioned it at all, but I ended up getting that today for international travel and emergency situations, and I've been in them. Oh, they are not fun. They can ruin your vacation. So if you're going to be traveling alone, or if you're going to need to get around a lot from place to place, you're not in like a travel guided group, then I highly suggest that you get an international phone plan, something small. The one I got at AT&T is $40 for a month, and it allows me to have unlimited text messaging, which is really helpful when you're trying to find your friends in a crowd of people. It also offers $1 per minute phone calls, and then additionally the 200 megabytes of data. I explained in my last video how to avoid racking up extra data in the longer version of this. It's really great because there are times when you just can't get to Wi-Fi and you're lost, or let's say something gets stolen in a location that doesn't have Wi-Fi, then that's really going to save your butt. Or if you're stuck on the airplane, delays, etc., go ahead and get that phone plan. The phone plan, additionally, I found out, does have the My AT&T app, to where you can log in and see how much of that roaming data that you've used, so you can pace yourself and know where you're at on your trip, that you're not overusing. So I hope this helps, and have safe travels and enjoy yourself. Mwah! Cheers, people!